Hello, welcome to Wake Up Less Anxious with Jim. The goal of this podcast is that after listening to each short episode, you feel a little less anxious. If you're experiencing anxious thoughts, crippling doubts, and any uncomfortable feelings, this podcast is for you. Here, I will be sharing some quick and easy tips to deal with all your uncomfortable feelings. Promise, hindi siya mabigat because, dealing with anxiety is hassle enough as it is. So, it's going to be a light conversation and I hope these tips will help. Please support by going to bit.ly/lessanxious and joining our newsletter. Hey, Anxnatics. For this episode, I'm going to share 3 strategies when panic strikes. And of course, like for me, I've had a lot of panic attacks and they are in a spectrum, like parang from super duper wild debilitating panic attack where I like have super bad anxiety and can't function. Fortunately, I've only had I've had few of those, and most of those happen in a social setting, which make it worse. And there are those subtle panic attacks that happen, let's say for example during a meeting. You're meeting with someone and you have a single thought. Let's say, oh my God, what if I say something wrong? Or what if I look like an asshole? And then you start spiraling and you can't concentrate. That's a subtle mini panic attack. The big panic attack usually happen in these usually happen in social settings. So like you're at a wedding, and I'll share some of mine. One, it was just after the pandemic, or parang sorry, the pandemic was like slowly, I don't know, parang humihinay na, and Sab and I decided to go out. We went to a gig. This was the first gig that we went to. And during this time, I remember like we would wear double masks pa. So we went to this gig and like the whole time I was just thinking, like in my head, it was like, okay, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. And I'm being so irresponsible. Like I'm gonna bring this home to our kids. And we're doing the wrong thing, we're doing the wrong thing, we're doing the wrong thing. So I just kept telling myself that. So I knew I was building myself up for something really bad. So ganun yung mood ko. And then I went to the bathroom again with this double mask. And the bathroom was so small. And naramdaman ko bigla na parang, wow, the bathroom is really, really small. And usually in these panic attacks, it starts from one thought and then it'll carry over to another thought and you just start spiraling. So it was, oh my God, I can't take my mask off here in this small bathroom. And then it could go to, I hope someone doesn't come in, right? And then it goes to, how can oh shit, I think I can't breathe. I think I can't breathe. And then, oh my God, if I faint here, it'll be so embarrassing. Oh my God, if I faint, like, who will see me? So tuloy-tuloy na yun. So that's what was happening to me in the bathroom. And I was like, oh, and then of course the thought was like, don't take off your mask, don't take off your mask. So I went outside and ano talaga, as in like, thank God, one of my friends saw me and he saw me and I was so white, so pale, and I was just trying to breathe. So I feel like I could easily parang kumaga there have been moments where I could have easily gone into that really bad spiral again. But these 3 things that I've been doing have helped me. How else can we manage our anxiety? I recommend the Mind You platform. That's genuinely reshaping how we approach mental wellness. They offer low-cost talk therapy sessions, but what I really appreciate is that Mind You offers a free toolkit for your mental well-being. From a community forum to a guided journal, a mood tracker, and even educational podcasts and articles, Mind You is a game changer in making professional help reachable and accessible. Download the Mind You app from the App Store or Play Store and explore a world dedicated to mental wellness. So number one talaga is breathing. This is my mistake. When you panic kasi you hyperventilate, right? It's like, oh my God, get on. And long exhales are the key to relaxing. So our bodies are constantly in either flight or fight mode, right? So when you do quick breaths, makes you it makes you ramped up, right? That makes you energetic, makes you hyper, makes you vigilant. Pero when you do like a short inhale and then a long exhale, so changer in making professional help reachable and accessible. Download the Mind You app from the App Store or Play Store and explore a world dedicated to mental wellness. My suggestion is you could do inhale for 4, exhale for 8. Or if it's too hard, you can do inhale for 3 seconds and then exhale for 6 seconds. Breathing deeply, because when we do panic, very shallow, very rapid, and therefore it fuels pa that anxiety. So my suggestion is once you have those feelings, look for a space, close your eyes if it helps, and then do that breathing. And then feel it. Think about it. Like, oh, the air is going into my chest, it's going into my stomach, it's filling my lungs, and then I'm exhaling long. You're parang talking to yourself, okay, this is what's happening. You're from an outside perspective, and looking at yourself as like a study. Yeah, parang you're studying yourself. And that alone will distract you from the anxiety attack that you're having. Next, this one is I think I usually feel subtle panic attacks when driving. And before, when I didn't do this technique, it would spiral. So I'd sometimes have to stop the car. And this is the 5 4 3 2 1 technique. Okay? Because when you're panicking, again, one thought leads to another and you spiral. So the 5 4 3 2 1 is you talking to yourself again, but you immediately name 5 things that you can see around you. Now, if you're in a car or you're in a social setting, make sure you look at things that are within your control. Kumbaga, let's say when you're in the car, you don't look at, oh, stoplight, oh, person, oh, another car, because that's the environment. Parang what would be better is you stop, or once your car stop, look at your steering wheel, look at your partner, look at the handbrake, look at the water inside your car. Yun. Then 4 things that you can touch. So again, and then say it out loud. Say it to yourself. Like, okay, steering wheel is parang leather. And then my pants are corduroy. My polo is cotton. Feel it. 4 things, and then you say it to yourself. 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. Now, let's say kunwari, you can't taste anything. Then say the 1 thing you can't taste is nothing. 2 things you can smell. Let's say wala talaga. Sometimes you could just put your hand on your, alam mo yun, ilagay mo yung kamay mo sa ilong mo and smell it. Just something. Because just by doing this, it shifts your focus from the, yung panic-inducing thoughts to your immediate surroundings. So you regain control, right? And that in itself will calm you down. And lastly, I think this one it will require you do the first 2 steps first, which is you challenge your negative thoughts. Because what happens is when you do panic, you go into, it's spiraling is because you lose control, right? You're afraid that you'll lose control, that you can't handle it or you're in danger. So what you can do is ask yourself, is this accurate? Parang, and then my suggestion is, what you can do is think of your safe parang your buddy, your safe buddy, or your most one of your most dependable friends. Um, and imagine you them saying whatever your anxious thoughts are. Let's say, for example, oh my god, I'm gonna slip and fall, and people are gonna make fun of me when I march down the wedding aisle. Kunwari lang. So you're saying that to yourself, right? You're saying, oh my God, I'm gonna slip. Oh my God, I'm gonna fall. Oh my God, it's gonna be so embarrassing. They're gonna laugh at me. It's gonna be on Instagram. Imagine that your friend is telling you that, right? And then you ask them, is this really accurate? Totoo ba to? And then, do you think it's more realistic or more balanced if we say it this way? That so just by questioning yourself and challenging these thoughts, you'll gain awareness. And awareness talaga is the number one tool against anxiety. Being aware, being because being aware gives the power back to you, right? The anxiety does not control you. You regain control, and therefore you can reduce the intensity of the panic attack. Like, yeah, okay, I'm having a panic attack, but at least it's not as bad. And slowly you'll see um that if you try applying these practices and like keep these three in mind, now even for the subtle ones, you're gonna build a much stronger armor for yourself, and parang you'll notice that every time one of these attacks happen again, you're more prepared and it won't be as intense. So there you go. Again, please join our newsletter, bit.ly/less anxious, and stay less anxious. Thanks, Nadix. Bye.